Hi, today I really wanted to do a retro look, something that's quite extra on the eyes, double winged liner, really bold winged liner. I wanted to recreate this look that I saw. This is from a movie called Sawan ki ghata, and I just thought her eyes looked so beautiful. So that's what I want to recreate today, and let's just get started. This is what the look is going to look like. Let's go ahead and recreate it on this side. I'm going to use the L'Oreal Brow Artist Genius Kit. And what I'm going to do is just brush my eyebrow hair down like this. So just starting from here. I'm being very heavy-handed because I want the eyebrow to be really dark. I'm taking the angled brush and just stamping it straight so it fills up the hair. And I do not want the eyebrows to be bushy, so I am kind of combing it on a 45-degree angle and combing it down as well. Next, I'm going to apply an eyeshadow base. This one is from Essence. It's their I Love Stage Eyeshadow Base. And just gonna liberally apply it, then just blend it. Then I'm going to take a slightly angled brush like this. This is an angled and fluffy brush, and I'm picking up this color called Cocoa in it, tapping off the excess, and then I'm just gonna look straight into my mirror. When I look straight up, you can see my crease ends here. So I'm gonna apply the eyeshadow pulling the crease upwards, right? That's what I've done here, and that's almost going to be like a liner made out of eyeshadow on this side right here. An angled brush like this really helps in just stamping the eyeshadow right there. I'm tapping it here and feathering it out. I love this palette because it has such neutral shades, so doesn't matter what complexion you have, you can create the perfect like nude neutral eye look. I'm going to switch to a smaller brush because the area beyond it is a lot smaller, so I don't want the eyeshadow to spread too much. I'm using this one from PAC X Jovita. I'm so excited about this entire collection. It's such a good set of brush. I'm going to use the same color and look straight and just follow my natural crease line. I think this entire brush collection is so good, perfect if you are a beginner. I can tell that this entire range is so thought out, very well thought out. Now moving on to an even smaller brush like this, and I'm going to take the shade called Truffle, and I'm literally going to draw a winged liner using this. And I'm going to remove any of the excess powder as I move closer to the inner corner because I don't want it too dark. As you can see, it's just not as dark as this side. Now we're going to go back to that mid-size brush and take the same shade Cocoa, blend that winged eyeliner out. Don't worry about it being perfect right now because we will use that eyeshadow base to cut and clean everything. I'm taking the shade called Nude as a transition to blend the first shade that we applied. I am going to take the same eyeshadow base that we took on the back of my hand. That's because I want to control how much product I have in my brush. Just taking a little bit of the base, I am going to use that to cut the crease, like really neaten it up. The entire eye look is all about everything going up, so that's what I'm trying to do. Using an angled brush really makes it easy to get those sharp edges like this when you're cutting your crease. Okay, so once we're done doing that, I am immediately going to set it using this shade called Swan. Just pressing that shade all over the eyelid. Use the shadow again to clean everything. If you want, you can even go right here and just blend the edges ever so slightly. Now I'm going to use my Define Liner in Detoxify. The reason why I love using this is because how much control I can get with this. Depending on how much water I add or how little water I add, I can intensify the pigment or really make the pigment sheer. So that helps me when I'm like kind of creating like the guideline and then just intensify and create like a nice opaque line. All you need to do is just spray some water and dip your brush in and just activate the pigment. You can use any mixing medium. So I'm going to start the eyeliner from where my lower lash line ends and kind of pull my eye upwards like so, okay? One of the best tips I can give you for doing a winged liner is actually breaking the line into like smaller lines and then kind of connecting them. So this way the chances of making mistakes are not as much. And I'm kind of following the same shape as the previous wing that we drew. So I've not taken too much of the pigment because, you know, if I've made a mistake, this is also really easy to clean. It does not really mess up at all. I love how easily this gets cleaned. So right now I'm actually gonna start from, this is just going to be a guideline, and now I'm just going to do the inner corner. Just extend it a tiny bit. Now I'm going to make the liner a little bit more wet so that'll shear out the pigment because I just want to map out the shape. It's quite thin on the inner corner, and as we go out it kind of thickens. What makes this winged liner look very retro is actually turning the wing a little inwards like this. So that's what I'm going to do, try and do. Turn it a little inwards at the end. That's what makes this liner look so retro. Now, as you can see, I've taken a lot of pigment and I'm just going to fill up this. And if you're using this liner and you've made a mistake, you can just use a Q-tip dipped in water. Since this is activated by water, it'll move and clean very easily. Another helpful tip I could give you is to rest your finger on your cheeks, and that is going to give you a lot of stability. Let's go ahead and create the soft flick on our bottom lash line. I like to start right here. As you can see, I've taken very little bit of the pigment so that even if I make mistake, it's easy to correct. And now if I'm happy with the shape, I can go ahead and darken it up. And if I'm not happy with the shape, it's very easy for me to clean up. So now I'm going to take more product and intensify that line that I just drew. This makes your eyes look so nice and big. Just a very small lash just on the outer corner to make my eye look a little bit more open and winged out. I'm using this lash set from Amazon. I tried finding it online, but I think it's out of stock. This is the lash that I'm going to wear. It's a very short lash, so I'll apply it just on the outer corner right here. So I'm just applying it on the outer corner here. Even though I've applied it after the glue has gotten tacky, it just needs a little bit more time to settle in. So just patience. I'm gonna use some mascara to blend my eyelashes into. I find that using the end of my Morphe brush, the one that I use to create the liner, it's so nice and thin, it's perfect to push the lash band in. I'm also applying it on my bottom lashes. I'm going to apply some white eyeliner on my lower lash line. I'm going to take that same cocoa shade and apply it right underneath that eyeliner. Without this, I feel like the liner looks very one-dimensional. I can't explain it. It really completes it. Kind of casts a shadow underneath that line and makes it pop. Also applying that white eyeshadow right here. For my lips, I'm going to use this Maybelline Superstay Ink Crayon in the shade Lead the Way. This is a dupe for Velvet Teddy. This color is so pretty.